So today I'm sitting here with Ryan from Warwick Farm Brewing. They are relatively new, which isn't a surprise. There's a new brewery every single day in Pennsylvania, it seems.
that way, yeah.
But this one is absolutely incredible, and I'm extremely excited to be here. Your beer is incredible. So
thank you.
We are going to start just with a really simple one. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I got into brewing maybe 4 years ago. My previous job, I was working at Keystone Homebrew, where I really picked up the brewing hobby. And then that eventually became into a passion where, just kept on building recipes. And then my father noticed how much of an interest we had into it, and he helped me with a business plan and all that stuff. And then we met we didn't meet, but the Tabor family, which is Timmy and Tom and Robin. We've been great friends with them for our entire life, so we got together with them and we started this project. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I've not yet met Timmy, but I did meet Tom when I was here for the Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
He was beyond nice. He even offered me a tour of the place. I'd already been on one, but he went out of his way to make sure that I had seen everything.
Yeah, it's family owned, yeah. So the Tabors are the one, you met Tom, so Tom's one of the owners. And then my father, Scott, is the other owner, too.
And Timmy lives right here on campus, right? Pretty much?
Yeah, Timmy lives right across here, so he's got a easy walk to work every morning. So.
He can drink as much as he wants and just stumbles right back.
Yeah.
Before we get into the next question, I just want to talk real fast about this Dunkel. This came out this week, Hunkel's Dunkel.
Correct, yeah.
Now, is there a part, where's the Hunkel come from?
Oh, so the Hunkel comes from one of Timmy's uncles. His name's Uncle Jeff, and he's a good friend of ours, and so we named it Hunkel. We call him Hunkel all the time because he's like the man, so he's Hunk and an uncle.
Okay.
So yeah, Hunkel's Dunkel. That's how we came.
I know you guys have some play on words for some of them, like the FYT for the pills.
Yeah, that one has a certain meaning, which I save off camera.
So there's definitely some fun little stories with that, and that's one of the things I like about like little independent breweries, kind of how they got their names, because sometimes the name's a little weird. Yeah. There's always a little inside story, but dark lager is something you don't see too frequently. This is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Dark, roasty, malty, a little bit of chocolate finish. It's incredible. So if you have found yourself a little tired of IPAs, you're getting burnt out, or it's kind of getting into stout season, definitely this is a great cold weather beer.
Yeah, we've been sitting on this for quite a while too. Like, we wanted to make sure we released it like after Oktoberfest hit, and this is kind of going to be our winter seasonal lager, I think. From the reviews that we're getting, people seem to love it, and especially if you're not a, if you're a hazy guy, you enjoy the hazy IPAs, I would encourage you to try something like this, because this literally tastes like liquid bread, and 4.5%, so it's not going to kill you.
That's it?
That's it, 4.5%. Wow. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? So you can have a couple of them. It uses a large majority of Munich malt. There's a lot of toasted malt and then a touch of chocolate to give that nice color. Okay,
I was going to say I tasted that for sure. You guys do have some really good alternatives to that too. I saw you have like a chai stout. Workshop number 11 is probably one of my favorites. That's that coffee stout. So not only are you hitting on the IPAs, it seems like everyone nowadays can do an incredible IPA, but those branch out styles, those classic styles, you guys are definitely hitting those as well, which is amazing to see. So you're not like a one-trick pony. That is a fantastic beer.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that's what we want to be known for, is like, so you go hazies, and then our German lagers, Pilsner in specific, and then the big stouts, which we're getting into, like we're releasing a maple coffee stout this week, and then the Belgians. We're starting to get more in the Belgians. I think those core four are perfectly branding for our, the perfect styles for our branding.
I would agree. And I'm surprised more people don't do it, since German heritage is huge in Pennsylvania. It just kind of goes hand in hand. One of the interesting things about you, and I didn't know it until we sat down and talked a little bit, was you're an ex-ball player. You played for the Angels. Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey in baseball, and then also kind of how you transitioned from that to now you're a head brewer?
Yeah. So I played baseball my entire life. I can remember growing up just, t-ball, everything. I seemed to really excel at it. My father, Scott, realized at a young age that, I had some talent, so kept on growing and getting faster, stronger. And when I was 12, my dad made me start switch hitting. So I was a switch hitter all through high school, college, and then even the pros. So that was my thing, a switch hitter. So I went to Christopher Dock, which is a school in Lansdale. Got recruited to play at Louisville University. From there, I transferred to Liberty, which is down in Lynchburg, Virginia. And then I got drafted out of the 17th round to the Angels. Great organization. I'm glad I got drafted by them. Yeah, just I didn't want to do it. That was part of it. It's a tough lifestyle. So
Okay.
yeah, and I have no regrets. I'm glad I did it. No hard feelings for the Angels, but incredible experience. But yeah, from there, I remember my wife after I got released from them. I was in Iowa, and she was like, "So what do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, "This is 30 minutes after getting released and your childhood dream is crushed." So I'm like, "Oh man, perfect timing, Jen." So I said I want to open up a brewery, and she just thought I was in shock from being dreams over. So we drove home, and I kept on bugging her, and she's like, "All right." So we had a deal where I had to get How to Brew by John Palmer, which is a very intense reading book, and I had to read the entire book. And the deal was if I read the entire book and took notes, then I could go get a brewing system. And 60 pages later and 2 days later, I had my brewing system. So it didn't take very long. So she really, she realized early that I was very serious about it.
What position did you play?
So in high school, I played the infield pretty much. And then when I was at Louisville, I played third. And then when I got to Liberty, they moved me to second base, which is like, I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. It's not exactly your prototypical second baseman. So the Angels, once they drafted me, they said, yeah, you're going to get your fat butt over to first base and just try and hit home runs. So that's I was known for hitting. That was my thing. So
You got the Frank Thomas build, like hey, you either hit a home run or it's an out.
Yeah, and when I was playing second at Liberty, it was like anything 2 steps to my left or my right I got. Anything other than that, I was like, I'm not gonna get there.
Know your limits.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm glad. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm glad that your dream failed, but we now have Warwick Farms instead. So without that failure, this would have never happened.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Yeah, it is fun. Baseball is a game of failure, and that's definitely something that I'm glad I took with me, because like brewing, you're gonna fail and you can't take it too hard, So like if I made a bad batch, I was just like, you know what, like I've failed plenty in my life with baseball, so you just gotta keep plugging away and keep trying new stuff.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be a hypothetical for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could collab with anyone in the industry, who would it be?
So, well, Allagash. Yeah, Allagash Brewing up in Portland, Maine.
Okay.
That is a company that we really respect, and something that a company that we have kind of mimicked in a way. Like they have great customer service. Like when I went up there, I was just, I didn't even have the brewery yet. They treated me like a king there. So we want to have those same values, no matter who you are. We want to treat everybody the same. And definitely Allagash. I think their beer styles, with their
Belgians,
their Belgians,
Allagash White.
Yeah, they seem to be right in line with what we do and our core values. And then it's actually funny you said that, because our first collaboration is going to be with breweries in PA.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably be the only one for a long time. So we haven't really gotten into the collab thing yet. We want to feel things out and kind of make a brand for ourselves, and then we'll see down the road. But right now it's unless Allagash called and said, "Hey, you guys want to collab?"
Allagash, if you're watching this somehow, definitely at least meet up with Ryan.
Yeah, they are great, incredible company. So
their stuff is so good.
yeah,
it was. I would have never even thought of that as an answer, but yeah, they make incredible beer. They're a great company.
Yeah, we went up there for me and Timmy went up there for a quality insurance thing, so we got to learn how to deal with yeast and procedures like that up there, and got to see their brew house. It's phenomenal, how much they've grown in.
What do they use? Brewing size?
Brewing size, oh man, I believe they have a 4 or 5 vessel 40 barrel system from Braucon. That is a company out in Germany that makes like the best brewing equipment, so they got that in. They have a tank yard with like 12 300 barrel tanks. It's then they have a whole warehouse dedicated just to sours, which is incredible.
Warwick Farm is kind of unique right now. How old are you currently? It's like 1 year.
Our 1 year will be next Saturday.
Okay.
Next Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a brewery that is open, but you don't even technically have a fully made location yet. The tap room is being built currently outside. It looks fantastic. Can you tell the people watching at home a little bit about the tap room, how it's going to be set up, this whole area, what you guys have envisioned for this location?
Yeah. So we are on a 22-acre property. So we have a big spot. So I'm currently looking out into our field, where we were hosting the fall field days. So we have about 7 acres of tillable land down there, and about 3 of that's going to be made available for customers to walk on. So we'll have a big beer garden, but then the tasting room is going to be a 5,500 square foot building. It'll be 2,000 square feet retail, and then the rest there's a 1,500 square foot wraparound porch. Patio area, and it's going to be incredible. Really high building, but we've been really excited for that. So we want to keep everything here. That's our business model. We don't plan to distribute, but the idea is kind of like a winery type feel, But so we'll be growing hops. We'll have 2 acres of hops growing, so you can grab a hazy IPA and go sit underneath the hops, which is pretty cool. So we're really creating a unique experience here. It's not just where you can get a beer. It's the whole experience. You can, grab a hop, smell them, see how they grow, walk the property, talk to the brewer. So we're really creating something unique here.
Awesome. That was going to be one of the follow-ups I had was, are you going to have hops here? And since you answered that, what kind of hops are you looking to grow?
We're looking at the American varietals. The ones that we've seen grow best here are like Centennial, Chinook, Cascade. The big C ones, they grow well.
Okay.
We have Nugget planned, Comet, and then some Cashmere planned. So we have 30, I think there's 30 to 35 poles out there that are 20 feet high, and they'll be covered in hops come next summer.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty excited.
I think I know the answer. I believe I remember from before, but for the people watching at home, what's your favorite hop?
Ooh. Citrus is such an easy answer, but Sabro seems to be my favorite right now. Every time we open up a bag of Sabro, it's just got this incredible coconut and tangerine flavor, and I think it's by itself it's maybe a little too aggressive, but if you supplement it with if you use 20% or something, it adds this incredible tangerine, pina colada type flavor.
Oh,
so,
nice. Yeah,
that one, Vic Secret, is incredible, but yeah, if I had to say one, Sabro is I love it. So
I love Vic Secret. I like the cloudiness. Chinook's probably one of my favorites.
Chinook's great. Yeah,
I love that whole West Coasty. Idaho 7 is really popular right now, which I'm not gonna complain about.
The Pineapple Invaders that uses Brew 1, and that literally tastes like pineapple juice. It's incredible.
We had a little bit of an intermission here. We have beer number 2, which is right here. We've got the double dry hopped expression. This is a hazy IPA, and it's got Citra, it's got Galaxy, and Amarillo. So it's 6.5%. Looks like a Jackson Pollock painting on the back of the can here.
Yeah.
The smell is absolutely fantastic here. I could smell it just from sitting down. A lot of pineapple for sure.
Yeah.
It smells like a New England juice bomb, which will sell very well. I'm pretty sure.
That's what we're going for in our hazies. We don't want that hot burn.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting any of that acidic bite. Very, very light, front end bitterness, but very juicy. And if someone gave this to me and didn't tell me it was a beer, you could probably pass this off as Dole juice.
Yeah,
and I would be okay with that.
Yeah. So the first dry hop was with Citra, and then the second dry hop was with Citra, Galaxy, and Amarillo. So we did do the double dry hop on this one. So this is our second double dry hop we've done, and the customers seem to have the reception was great. So we're making a whole double dry hop series. So there'll be another expressions coming out in the next couple months.
I have seen you guys have some series. So the workshop is obviously one. You have another Citra something?
Super Citra.
Super Citra, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you guys you're already getting those little flagship series out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we the Citra Sensation too.
Yep.
So that one. So we actually have Super Citra and double dry hop Citra Sensation in the tanks. So those seem to be two of our most popular ones, but the Super Series went great. We did their single hop double IPA, Super Citra, Super Mosaic, Super Simcoe, and then we did Super Galaxy. So yeah, we did the 4 main ones.
Okay.
Yeah, we're starting to bring them back though. So.
Do you have any single hop beers coming out, or?
Yeah, so we have the in the tanks right now. We have double dry hop Citra Sensation. So that's a single Citra varietal. And then, what else do we have? We have Super Citra in the tanks too, so a lot of Citra coming up. But we do have Double Dry Hop Galaxy beer planned. So that'll be probably in January. That'll be released. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excited for all of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't say that you've released anything now that has been bad, so.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
One of my favorites, it's already passed, but hopefully it comes back, was the chocolate peanut butter stout. I got to try it from the fermenter, and it was fantastic, and the finished product was just as good. I believe that was a heavy hitter. I think it was 12%.
12%, yeah.
That had a ton of peanuts in it.
It was quite a bit, so we didn't use any flavoring, which is awesome. That's something that we don't want to do. Even in this one, we didn't use any flavoring, and you can really taste the maple. Yeah, so it's roasted peanuts, and then we used some chocolate in the boil, and it came out fantastic.
If you are allergic to nuts, don't get that one.
No,
please don't. We don't need a lawsuit.
It contains real peanuts, so.
When it says contains nuts, then it's not because of the brewers. It's actually the nuts here. So
yeah.
The next one that I have here for you is a kind of your opinion overall. What is your favorite and your least favorite style to brew, and why?
Oh man, that's so tough. My favorite style, I would say, is probably Pilsner. It is very difficult to brew. So they're not very difficult. You just have to be on your A game that day. So if you mess up one thing, you're going to be able to tell. With like, say, a double dry hopped IPA, it's a little easier to mask up mistakes, but I would say, the Pilsner's my favorite, and then my least favorite to brew is the big stouts because the amount of grain it uses, and then we do a 4-hour boil, so we have to sit there for 4 hours and just let it boil. But other than that, the stout does smell amazing in here. I would just say, the stout just because of the extended boil.
Can you talk a little bit about the brewing equipment that you guys have? How many fermenters, what's your brewing system look like? And then what is your brewing philosophy? You kind of touched on it a little bit. You don't want to add flavors. You're kind of keeping it super natural. But go ahead and talk a little bit about what beer brewing kind of means to you, and how you're, and if it's changed at all, your philosophy from when you started home brewing to where you are at this point.
Yeah. So I'll go over the brewing system first, and then we can get into that next one. The brewing system we have here is 7 barrels, and for those of you who don't know what a barrel is, 1 barrel is 31 gallons, which is 2 of the big kegs that you see. So it makes 14 kegs at a time, we'll say, our brewing system. So we have a 7 barrel system. We have an awesome mash tun with rakes, and then we have a boil kettle that has the whirlpool built in. It's perfect for the styles that we brew with the rakes. It's great for the hazy IPAs and the big stouts. We have 6 7-barrel fermenters, 8, and then there's 8 15-barrel fermenters, and they're pretty much all filled or fermenting something. And then we have 4 bright tanks that are 15 barrels. So that's the equipment side. And then the what was the philosophy question? Could you go over that? It was
basically, what is your philosophy for brewing? You said that you don't want to add any added flavors. You want to kind of keep it super natural when you're making your stuff. So what's your philosophy when it comes to brewing?
I would say we try to, as best as we can, stick to the German purity law. We would like to use the main 4 ingredients, unless it's, of course, for the big stouts where you add coffee, lactose, all that jazz. But for our main beers, our IPAs, our lagers, we use the 4 main ingredients. We don't add lactose to our hazy IPAs, which we're very proud of. We want to do things the way that we think is right. So we want to, dry hop a certain way, brew a certain way. But my philosophy has really changed because I used to be really into, heavily fruited sours and milkshake IPAs and stuff. And look, those beers are great. I do love them, but it's just not our brand. And I just think I have so much more respect for like a brewery that's able to make a great hazy IPA without lactose or anything like that, or make a clean lager. I think it's making a clean and good lager is one of the hardest things to do. So I gained so much more respect after starting brewing towards that, because I used to just be like, oh, it's just a lager, but like, the Dunkel took 8 weeks for us to make, and a lot of people don't understand that, but I would say we're kind of more on the traditional side, I guess you could say, unless it has to deal with our stouts. Okay. So yeah, we just really want to make sure that we are brewing the main four ingredients the best that we can do with those, and that's something that we'll stick by. So we want to, if Allagash was to make an IPA, or Hill Farmstead, would they be adding X, or how would they do it? So that's how we kind of try and mimic, how would the best breweries do it?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and until I got really into this, I can agree with it's just a lager thing. I didn't realize that how much time lagering takes, the extra equipment that you need. When a Pils or a lager's on, I always try to support it, because I know a lot of places won't make them because they don't sell as well, unfortunately, as the hazy stuff right now. Yeah,
and we have been pleasantly surprised with our lager sales. Like, we release a Pilsner and it typically sells out in 2 weeks, which is incredible. And I think the way that the market's going, it seems to be that they get their hazies. Everybody loves hazies. Double IPAs, but how many double IPAs can you have until you're on your couch asleep? So so we typically, I can say from my drinking habits, I usually have a hazy, and then I switch to like something lighter, like the Dunkel or a Pilsner or something that's not going to wreck your palate. So we're seeing our customers do more of that. Like this past weekend, it was hazy in the Dunkel, or 2 hazies in the Dunkel, and it's just something that we're seeing more and more.
I do like that. You guys always kind of have that variety. I think it's typically like four a week, and there always seems to be something light and dark and hazy. You do have the bottle stuff every once in a while. I think there was the Nightmare series. Is that what it's called?
Yes, yeah. So the Nightmare series is our barrel aged program. So that's what we're calling our stout barrel aged program. So we made a big batch of stout. We threw them in the whiskey barrels, and then we had 2 rum barrels, and that was the most recent Nightmare series. And we have one with coffee planned, and then a clean barrel planned, and then double barrel, and yes, we have some fun ones planned. So,
if you guys watching at home see any of these beers and they sound fantastic to you, which they should all, we have a few things here. We've got the Sugar Shack Stout. That's a tongue twister. The Double Dry Hop Expression. I've got a Marzen over here, the Pineapple Invaders. I see behind him he's got Broken Clutch, which is brand new, and we've got the Dunkel. So every week, follow them on Instagram. They will announce their new releases. He will pour them. He'll show them pretty much what you can expect from it. And then they put the link in the description there. And then once it goes live, you just drive up. They've got a really nice setup here. You can just drive, say your order. They'll put it in your car. You don't even have to get out. So very, very good for COVID right now. They're doing the best they can. But definitely make sure to check out their Instagram so you can see all the beers they release and support this local brewery. Just wanted to throw that in there because the beer is fantastic, and I wanted to make sure everyone here knew how to get it.
Yeah.
Since it's a little weird right now, no taproom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And anyone that's watching it, that is the only way right now to get their stuff. They're not distributing. It's all straight local from the brewery, so no overhead, stuff like that. Just order online. Super clean process. I've done it a few times now. Put in your information. You'll get an email and just come and pick it up. Luckily, they give you some really cool time windows as well, so you're not going to sit here for 2-3 hours or whatever. It's just here's our time. Go pick it up, and it's super convenient.
Yeah, it's definitely people seem to love it, especially right now with COVID, and we'll probably continue to do the drive-through setup until the COVID thing is over with. But yeah, it works great. You get a time slot, and so you don't have to wait in line. We have had problems with that in the past, so we space it out. So.
Time slots are nice. I've waited here less time to pick up beer than I had yesterday trying to go to the bank. So it's kind of ridiculous.
It's like 45 seconds and you have your beer.
What's your order? Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't drink it in your car. This was just a fun little question that I thought of, and you might enjoy it. Why is your beer so damn good?
Well, first off, thank you. It's a lot of research. We've done a lot of research and trying other people's beers. There's a great brewery scene in Philadelphia, so we're trying a lot of the stuff around here. Also, you need to try this stuff in Portland, where all the beer hubs are. We just really pay attention to our process, and I think that's what differentiates ourselves. So like our hazy IPA, it's funny, we made a mistake on a hazy IPA. Jay was brewing one day, and that's how he figured out how to make these a lot better than they were prior. So ever since that, I think our hazy IPAs have really jumped really good. We use the best ingredients that we can possibly find. We're not using extra sugar, to save on money. We're typically using a certain strain in our IPAs, and then once it hits its limit, once we think it's, because you reuse yeast every now and then, and once we think that it's hit its limit in generations, we get a fresh new pitch to make sure that the beer stays good. And time, so that's just the hazy IPA side, but like the lagers, they need time. Our lagers we ferment at 48, which is it's very cold, but it gives that nice clean profile, and then we let them sit for 3 to 4 weeks minimum. Just to lager. So I think that makes a big difference in the beer too. And then our IPAs even, we give an extra week to sit in the tanks because we don't want any of that green matter hanging out in your, so you don't, your last pours aren't sludge. Yeah, so we don't want that, So that's another step that we take. And do we need more tanks and does it save more time? Yes, but I think the product really benefits from that extra time.
I would definitely agree. Nothing I've had feels rushed. Nothing I have had has been green, and definitely nothing has been off character at all. Everything that you read on the label is what you get, which is amazing. I am so impressed with your beer. It's not even funny.
Oh, thank you.
To think that you're not even a year yet is ridiculous. There normally is that growing, feeling out process, try to figure out what you're good at, and then go from there. But no, there's every single style here is really awesome, and you're the head brewer, and I know Jay is back there as well. Is there anyone else helping you?
So I'm the head brewer, Jay's the brewer, and then Matt is the assistant brewer / cellarman. So it starts with him. He has to make sure that the tanks are clean. There's nothing that's going to get infected. He does a great job with cleaning them, and then Jay has to take the recipe. Jay and Matt have to take the recipe and make sure that we hit all of our numbers, and they do that job great. It all starts with them, doing a great job, and then I'm upstairs making the recipes, and then Timmy is doing all of the operations, so he's making sure everything runs smooth. We have a great accountant and controller in Megan, and then we have great ownership, and so there's. And then there's Tom Smitham, who's been with us since the beginning. He does all the website stuff. But it takes everybody to make it work. And thankfully, we have such a good team. So we're very thankful. And the main ones that are in the brew house are me, Timmy, Matt, and Jay. And we're all hungry. Like, we just want to make the best beer that we can. And I think something that I've learned from baseball is you can never be satisfied. So Timmy gets upset with me a lot because I tweak recipes a lot. But I'm always trying to make a better beer. Like, we know that this one is really good, this double dry hop expressions, but how can we make it better? So I think once you are satisfied, you're going to start losing ground. So you got to keep on, just plugging away, trying to make better beer. Yeah. So that's one of our philosophies, just never be satisfied. Always be hungry.
I think that baseball mentality is really helping you out because there's always, how can I improve my hitting? How can I improve my fielding? All that different stuff. And it's obviously translating very well here to your beer. I don't know how you can improve this. I have absolutely no idea whatsoever. But I will tell you that when you make the next iteration, I will try it, and it will be just as good as this one, awesome. For sure. So the next beer that we're enjoying here is the Tongue Twister. It's the Sugar Shack Stout. This one is a heavy hitter, the 12.5%. Do you want to tell them a little bit about this brew here?
Yeah, so this is this is one of our base imperial stout recipes. We made it a little more toastier, and we did the extended boil to make it much thicker. There's a ton of maple syrup in here, and a lot of it was used in the kettle, and then also on top of the kettle we throw it right into the fermenter. So like once the yeast is done eating, it eats less of the maple syrup sugar, so it leaves more maple syrup flavor. And then we threw our favorite roast of coffee beans in there to give a nice coffee backbone to it.
Is it a local company coffee or?
No, yeah, we get it from somewhere else, but I have it at home and I love it. So it's like a little secret that I have to myself. So, but I do love it. Yeah, it's great coffee. So, but yeah, came out fantastic. I think so.
We've got Maris Munich toasted chocolate adjuncts. We've got maple syrup, coffee, and lactose. 12.5%. And let's see the description here. An imperial milk stout aged on maple syrup and coffee beans. A 4-hour boil was chosen to help provide a thick mouthfeel. So definitely for sure. It looks, let's just take a look. I haven't had any of this yet. Dark. Definitely dark black with a nice khaki head here. The retention is beautiful.
It's got some legs on it. You can see when you
swirl
it around. It's got some.
This is definitely a medium body for sure. If I'm looking at bourbon here. Oh my God, that aroma!
Doesn't that smell good? Yeah.
Oh, Aunt Jemima would be proud.
It smells fantastic.
It's thick. It is definitely creamy. Not gonna lie, I would be tempted to pour this over pancakes.
I know, it's great. Yeah, the maple syrup it's there, and we wanted it there. We didn't want it overpowering. You get the nice chocolate notes, and then the coffee, and then it seems like the maple syrup just kind of sits on your tongue afterwards. So.
And it's definitely a nice long finish. The maple syrup is definitely right there on the front. The coffee notes, the chocolate. There's that slight booziness, but I feel like everything kind of plays together and balances really, really well to kind of cut that down. Because 12.5%, I'm expecting a lot of that booziness, and it's not there. Yeah. So this is a dangerous one. I'm just going to sit that there for a moment.
It does have it a little bit, but we try and mitigate that as much as we can. So it does take a little while to ferment because it's 12.5%.
Now this one is... this one's going to be a fun one. Hopefully you have thought of this, maybe not, but you pay homage to your baseball heritage a lot. I know you've got a few series right now going on. Can we hope for any future collabs with any past baseball friends? Do you still keep in contact with them? And then here's a fun little thing that I had in my head was, can we expect any homage to baseball flavors? So my first thought was Cracker Jacks. And since you kind of have some of these cool flavors, maple syrup, anything, have you thought of anything along those lines or kept in contact with anyone?
Yeah, so I have a couple buddies that are in the big leagues. My roommate in pro ball is Michael Hermosillo. Love the dude. He's been up with the Angels for a while. But Nick Birdie is another name. He was in my wedding. He's pitcher for the Pirates. Adam Engel is a center fielder for the White Sox. Ryan Cordell has bounced around to a couple teams. But there's a couple. My one roommate pitched for the Marlins for a while. So I have a lot of buddies that I know that have been in the big leagues. It's kind of funny seeing them like on the screen, But I'm so proud of them for what they've accomplished. But I haven't thought about actually collabing with them. That's actually a great idea. But the one thing what I have thought about doing is actually going to my wood bat company that I used to use, and then getting the wood, slicing it particularly, and then we would throw it in the fermenter so we could say that we would do a stout aged on the baseball bat that I used to use when I was playing. So, and there's a baseball bat company that's around here, and I was thinking it'd be fun to go and actually hit with the bats first, and then we could cut them up and throw them in the fermenter. But we'll have to see. I know Root Down did one with guitar wood, so I'm thinking we're gonna do one with a baseball wood that probably I used maple and then birch. I need to research which one's gonna be better for in the beer. So, but yeah, we do plan on having more of the design. The graphic design artist created. It's called C Smash series, and so we have Walk Off, There's frozen rope, and then there's pastime also. So we actually have frozen rope coming out next week again because it was so popular.
So good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I posted about frozen rope and didn't realize that was also a Urban Dictionary thing. So don't look that up.
I had no idea either. it's a baseball term that they use for like if somebody hits a frozen rope, it's like just like a solid line drive.
Yeah.
So somebody came up to me and told me, I was like, no, I had no idea, and I was like, well, that's not what I meant. So.
Yeah, I saw it. I only thought baseball. There's apparently a term for everything out in the world. So.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This one you kind of touched on a little bit with your brewing philosophy and everything like that, but what really sets Warwick Farms apart from everyone else around here? Why should people come to you?
There's a ton of great breweries around here. Obviously, like Free Will, you think of Free Will. They've been here forever. Gotten a lot of advice from them, but I think we have a unique system that we have. You guys can do the drive-through. There's a contact-free. On top of the beers, we have a good variety. Like I said, we have the 4 main styles that we concentrate on, and there's not many breweries that are brewing as many lagers and Belgian beer, and then you can get your hazies here also. I think that works to our advantage, and I would. Typically, when people come here and try the beer, they always come back. So that's always very encouraging. So we tend to have something for everybody. And if you come here and you're not really sure, all of our staff is well informed about beer. So we try and help that person out and give them the best beer that we possibly can. So
awesome.
Style based on what they're requesting. But saying that, like the local community's awesome in the brewing industry. Like we've just gotten so much help from local breweries like 10-7, Well Crafted, Free Will, Mad Princess right down the road here. Just awesome people, and I'm happy we're in the area that we are.
You answered this one pretty much, but what's your vision for the future of Warwick? I know you said distribution's really not in the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You have, it seems like the tank size is designed to drink on premise and not distribute. Is that going to remain true forever? Or are you going to eventually try to sell cans or local, maybe send some kegs out to local bars to get your stuff out there more? Or what's your full vision?
So right now our capacity is pretty much maxed out without a tasting room. So I can say I think we're going to have to get a bigger brewing system here in the next 2 years. So I think that's a vision that we have. Our vision is we want to be, known that like if somebody talks about it, you have to go to Warwick Farm. I think we're trying to create such a different atmosphere here and have good beer and we have aspirations to we just want to be known as one of the best breweries in the U.S. Hopefully we can become one of the best states in PA, then the East Coast, and we just want to be known as one of the best breweries, and I think we definitely, like I said, are going to have to upgrade to a new brewing system, and then we can maybe look at a second location. We don't have plans to package and send our beer out to distributors. We just don't know what the distributors are doing. We're more confident if like we have the beer here and we know how long it's been sitting here. We can give it to you as fresh as it gets it. Like you're getting the Dunkel, which was canned last Tuesday, and this one was canned last Tuesday, and it's fresh. So we're distributing the 4 bars right now, and I don't think we'll be able to add any more accounts just with demand. We would really love to keep all 4 of those accounts. So we'll see when that tasting room opens up. That's going to be. We have no clue what because I don't know with cans, with how much we're maxed out kind of with just doing cans, so I don't know how we're gonna.
I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
We'll figure it out.
It's gonna be a good problem to have.
Yeah,
I would say, are you gonna, in theory, skip right over 10 barrel and go to 15 then to make sure you have enough and you're not just stepping only to step again?
Probably 20 to 25 barrel. Yeah, probably a 3 or 4 vessel 20. Whether that's 2 years from now or 3 years from now, I think we're going to need it. So
okay.
We'll see what the future holds. Either that or we're just going to have to keep adding tanks. we'll find space for it.
I've seen it's kind of maxed out back there, and the ceiling is high. But
Yeah.
is there room for that, or would you have to build another facility for?
We probably need something else. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. So we would love to keep it here, but we'll have to see, and if we can't do it here, we'll just have to, get more and more tanks, and we'll figure it out. Yeah, we have ownership that is incredibly. They've been in business for 30 to 35 years, and they always seem to lead us in the right direction. So
they'll do right.
Yeah, they help us out a lot, and it's great having them lead us.
Sadly, the winter is coming. It's going to get colder. You did have the Oktoberfest, which was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any future events coming up in the wintertime? Anything that you have planned, or is it kind of just local pickup beer for right now until the season's over?
Yeah, so we're gonna get back to going heavy on even more heavy than what we are right now on the packaged beer, especially with the lockdowns probably coming up again. But we're gearing up for that. We don't have any events planned. We were hoping that we could do some sort of class. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to do that, but that's in the plans. We would like to have a classroom setting informational class, so hopefully we can get like 10 to 15 people, and then we can go through if you're a home brewer, we would have a class for that. If you want to get to know more about tasting beer, that's in the future. That'll probably be next year. But yeah, we're just really gonna get that. We're trying to get that tasting room open for spring, so we know how everybody's very excited about that. So
very much so. My next question kind of plays really well off of your answer here. Was what advice do you have for anyone that wants to be a home brewer or wants to potentially open a brewery? What would you give them as advice to get started?
Yeah, so on the home brewing level, just do your homework and make sure you're sanitized. That's the main thing. Brewing is 80% cleaning. But I would recommend that, and then just if you're looking to get into brewing, if you're looking to do get a brewery job or start a brewery, you just got to read everything about brewing. Seems to be in books. That's where I learned a lot of my information. So read as much as you can. And then you got to trial and error. You have to, if you're a home brewer, like if you make a bad IPA recipe, or you think it's a bad IPA recipe, maybe you don't give on that recipe. Maybe you did something wrong in your process. Try and brew it again and make your process better. So if you do the process right, it's pretty hard to make a bad beer. So you need to, just read, have a good process down. And starting a brewery is tough. I didn't think it'd be this tough. But I wouldn't be doing. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else in my life. So it's incredible.
Sounds like it's a good thing then the baseball failed.
Oh yeah, I am thankful, very thankful that I would much rather be doing this than playing baseball. So. This
is the last one for you. Is there any last things that you'd like to tell the people watching at home? Anything about Warwick? Why they should come? Anything at all? This is your open forum to tell them whatever you want.
Oh, well, thank you for coming out. I wanted to thank you for, taking the time out of your day and coming here. For ordering, we do post on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock, and typically some beers do sell out. So if you're able to get there on there at 5, you typically can get what you would like. And I would check our website out at www.warwickfarmbrewing.com. Check out our plans for the tasting room. We have those up there. Just come by, order some beer, and then get to meet us and know us. And like I said, I would, if you like hazy IPAs, I think this might be your spot. So yeah, give it a try.
Well, I want to thank you for sitting down with me, enjoying some awesome beer. You're always good company. It's always great beer. Make sure to definitely support them. Get some beer. If you're not in this area and you're just watching it, support whatever is local to you. Everyone is struggling right now. So just make sure to support whatever. Also, when you are grabbing beer, you might be able to get some swag. I know I have a shirt on. They have other stuff. They've got stickers, which my wife makes fun of me. I get everywhere I go.
Yeah.
They've got golf balls, everything like that. So
yeah.
It's a good place to come. And once the tap room is open, it's going to be even more of a destination. I can't wait to come here and just sit for hours and drink and be stupid.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Cheers.
Awesome.